What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're here for a Monday Night Raw review for October the 18th, 2021. The final show before they go back to Saudi Arabia, which I'm really surprised they're going to be able to, but that's neither here nor there. Now, before we get to another shitty episode of Monday Night Raw, as we all know, on Friday night, SmackDown decided to go a half an hour over the normal time because they're on FS1. They have a little bit more freedom to do that. And so they decided we're going to go a half an hour ahead of Rampage. AEW decided we're going to have a buy-in on YouTube. Now, the buy-in, which of course had Minoru Suzuki and Bryan Danielson as that main event of that show, is just under 1 million the last time I looked at it. Which, if you're a YouTube content creator, you know your first 24 to 48 hours is the sweet spot when it comes to viewership. Anything after that is just gravy. But, of course, the first half an hour, the final half an hour of SmackDown was Bianca Belair versus, not Bianca Belair, but Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch, and the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns contract signing. Of course, WWE decided to put it on with no commercials because they wanted to try and stick it to Rampage. Now, anybody who thinks Rampage was going to beat SmackDown in like overall viewer, you're an idiot. That's not where we're looking. Friday SmackDown drew an 866,000 viewers with a 2.24 rating in 18 to 49. This drew 314,000 18 to 49 demo. Friday's Rampage drew 578, which is up from last week, by the way, with a 0.24 rating in the 18 to 49. Rampage drew 313, I know that's wrong, in the 18 to 49. Rampage did defeat SmackDown in one demographic. On Friday, also topping SmackDown head-to-head in the 30-minute overlap in the 18 to 49 demo. While Rampage and SmackDown tied in the 18 to 49 demo with a 0.24, they also tied with WWE in the 18 to 49 demo and rating a 0.20, which AEW also picked up a narrow win on the male demographic, 0.34 to 0.32. And AEW, the 30-minute overlap, this is where everybody needs to look and needs to focus. It doesn't matter about the fucking overall viewership. It's the 18 to 49. That is where the sponsorships for these are actually looking to get viewership. Because that's the next generation of people they're trying to get hooked on your product so they can sell. From 10 to 10:30, which ran commercial free, AEW drew 328,000 viewers to WWE's 285,000 viewers in the 18 to 49. The quarter hours, if we can get to the overlap, if we can find it. Hold on, I have it here on. Brian Alvarez actually put out the actual quarter numbers for this. And the number was not good for Roman and Brock Lesnar. Because Roman and Brock Lesnar, as we know, closed out the night when you had Becky versus Sasha Banks right before that. And AEW, if I can get down here, I do have it on my Minds account. We'll talk about everything on Monday Night Raw here in a minute. But we can get this to get what I need it to. Okay, yeah. From 10 to 10:15, AEW 363,000 to WWE 272,000. From 10:15 to 10:30, AEW 293,000, SmackDown 293,000. Overall, 328,000 to 282,500. This means, and it's been people have been making fun of this all night. SmackDown big match. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. The huge contract signing where once again Brock Lesnar stirs the pot. That went up against Ruby Soho and the Bunny. They tied Ruby Soho and the Bunny. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks went up against CM Punk and Matt Sydal. And from what I saw on social media, Matt Sydal and CM Punk ended about 8 seconds after the Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch match. So, Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch got outdrawn by CM Punk and Matt Sydal. So people, I don't like people who want to sit there and say CM Punk's not a draw in any way, shape, or form. He's got the sales have gone up, tickets have gone up, merchandise has been flying off the shelves, and they went up against two of the biggest names in the women's division. One being the SmackDown Women's Champion at the time, and she still is right now. And yet, WWE couldn't do a damn thing. Anyone know why WWE's overall rating was higher than AEW's? Because the 50, 60-year-old demographic watches WWE. They grew up with WWE. They will die watching WWE because that is the target demographic that picks WWE over AEW. So in the demo, AEW won. Anybody trying to sit there and say, oh, WWE smashed and slaughtered them because they had more viewers, you don't understand what matters in 2021. Overall viewership does not matter as much as demo. Why do you think the week after AEW beat Monday Night Raw in the key demo, barely, but they did beat them, Big E, the very next week, cashed in Money in the Bank and became WWE Champion. That was the very next week. Did it help them? No, because AEW beat them again. Then what happened? Roman Reigns and the Bloodline were on Monday Night Raw. Why? Because AEW 2 weeks in a row beat WWE Raw in the main demographic that we are looking at, 18 to 49. I'm still in that demo for another 18 years. Actually, that's surprising. But back in WCW, WWE, WWF, Monday Night War, everything mattered. From ratings, from the overall viewership, to demo, to everything mattered. But in 2021, it doesn't matter that much. Because if you want to be honest with everything, WWE, AEW are not going to top any sports activity that you're going to see, from football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer. I think maybe soccer. WWE and AEW are going to be hurt all the time. So they got their butts kicked. AEW beat them in the 18 to 49, the one that matters. And of course, that's sad for WWE, actually. The fact that they got slaughtered and beat up, and the fact that two of their biggest names, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, tied Ruby Soho and the Bunny, which, love me some Ruby Soho. I hope she does very fucking well in AEW. I hope she'll become the first ever TBS champion, which would be fucking smart. But the fact that just shows you that Brock Lesnar is not the draw that Vince McMahon thinks he is. If you were to put Roman Reigns against somebody who was, I don't know, maybe a Drew McIntyre, a Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Bobby Lashley probably even, you might have had a little bit more of a run. But Brock Lesnar? Nah, man. Nah. Now, the only other thing I want to talk about before we get to the Monday Night Raw review, Karrion Kross. So, as we know, the night after, I think it was the night after Money in the Bank, Karrion Kross made his debut. I think it was the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Could be wrong, but don't quote me on that. Goes out there, faces Jeff Hardy, loses in a minute and a half. Jeff Hardy and him was supposed to have another rematch next week with Karrion Kross losing again. But COVID said, nah, son, you ain't going to have another match with Jeff Hardy. So he goes out and faces, I think it was Keith Lee. And lost, if I'm correct, to Keith Lee. And the story came out that it was supposed to be Karrion Kross is going to go on this amazing losing streak, losing week in and week out, to the point where Scarlett would come back and be that one piece that he needs to unleash the beast. Then, for some reason, about a month and a half ago or so, WWE had Karrion Kross debut his gladiator gimmick. Why? Because everyone has to be marketable in WWE. And I'm thinking to myself, put Scarlett with him. You got this guy who looks, he's chiseled out of granite with a goddess by his side. How is that not marketable? How could you not get him? How is that not something that you could have toys and on posters and everything? That's a hell of a fucking marketable commodity right there. Scarlett and Karrion Kross. But no! Suspenders and a shredder looking gladiator helmet. And what's Karrion Kross been doing recently? Wrestling on Main Event. So, there's going to be more changes coming to Karrion Kross. The current plan is to shift Kross' character on the main roster once again, according to WrestleVotes. The idea is for Kross to be more of a psycho yet still calm and cool. You know, the gimmick he should have had in the first place? It was noted that Gladiator helmet is staying for now, but for some, they are still not bringing Scarlett up to the main roster to be with Kross. The former NXT champion also due for another change in his entrance, including new theme music. Why do we need to change the theme music? Because that fit him so well. Of course, if you don't have Scarlett with him, what's the fucking point? So I guess it depends on the theme music. If the theme music is shit, what was the fucking point? If it's good, then we'll just have to see how it goes. Kross was picked on Raw in the recent draft, and while he's not wrestled on Raw since defeating Jackson Ryker on September 27th. That was... Let me get my calendar here. That was, what, 3 weeks ago? Yeah, 3 weeks ago! He's been on Main Event. But they've had vignettes of him talking in this calm, cool demeanor, just wanting to wreak havoc on Monday Night Raw. He's been on live events beating John Morrison, and he's been wrestling on Main Event. His last match was on October 7th, 2 weeks ago, on Main Event. Karrion Kross on the main roster is dead. I could care less about Karrion Kross. WWE had, it's funny, Vince McMahon and them, not Vince McMahon, probably Vince, had Adam Cole go out there when Kross was still champion and had him shoot on everything that makes Karrion Kross special, from the hot woman to the lighting to the music to the entrance. All they had to do for Adam Cole to make him feel special was ring the damn bell. And we see week in and week out that it becomes truer every single time, that Karrion Kross's faults continue to be exploited, his strengths are being hidden, and he is just not even worth watching. So, that is that. Let's get to some Monday Night Raw, because no, Karrion Kross was not on Monday Night Raw. Why would Karrion Kross be on Monday Night Raw? But here comes the Charlotte 9000, who it turned last night. And she had to lose the WWE Raw Women's Championship or go to SmackDown with it. Or, you know, do what they did last year and have a belt swap. Which, yeah. I can already tell that this is going to be one of those nights. So she comes out, she complains, she whines, she complains because this is Charlotte 9000, this is what she does. She whines and complains because she is getting a taste of her own medicine, because Bianca Belair wrestled her tonight, and on Thursday, she's going to wrestle for this SmackDown Women's Championship. But why is Bianca getting a title match tonight? I could not tell you why Bianca Belair was getting a Raw Women's Championship match tonight. I couldn't tell you. It made no sense to me. It just like, what the fuck are they doing? It's like, so you have one thing, one thing's gonna happen. Either tonight Bianca wins, and then we go into the Crown Jewel, and Sasha Banks wins, or the one thing I think they're going to do with how the match goes tonight, and that is Charlotte wins, Becky retains, and then we get some stupid backstage segment, or we have some kind of thing before SmackDown on Friday where Charlotte has to give up the Raw Women's title, and she's gifted the SmackDown Women's title, and when we get to Monday, Becky is gifted the Raw Women's Championship, a title she never lost, by the way. Yeah. Just absolute garbage, this is. But that is Monday Night Raw for you. That's what they love to do. But she comes out, she whines, she complains, she's like wondering, where's my balloons? Where's my hugs? Why is everybody not on the ramp giving me goodbye hugs? Like, you're not leaving the company, you're just going to SmackDown. We're going to see you on the way to Survivor Series if you're the Raw Women's Champion going into Survivor Series, because you and the SmackDown Women's Champion, unless you switch brands, of course, unless you switch titles, it's going to be you and Becky at Survivor Series if things go the way I think they're going to go. And then we won't, you won't really be away from Monday Night Raw till the week after Survivor Series. That's basically how it is. She says it's bullcrap. One fan says you suck. She says, wait, I suck? Belair comes out. What the fuck were these two women wearing? I don't even know. They bitch and moan, whine and complain back and forth to each other. She calls Belair a rookie. Belair with the same shitty cringe shit she says all the time. Flair goes for an attack. She misses. She knocks off the apron by a handstand backflip by Bianca Belair, and that ends that. So, I don't really care about this match. I really don't. The show just sucks. Monday Night Raw sucks, and SmackDown's not going to be any better. But here we go, King of the Ring semi-final match. Instead of WWE doing the smart thing last week and having Kofi beat Jinder Mahal to give us Xavier Woods versus Kofi Kingston, a match that we will probably never see in any time soon, they decided we're going to have, and because they're babyfaces, they're those members of the New Day, we're not going to get a Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero type of match where they go, well, we're a tag team, we don't have anybody to wrestle, let's wrestle each other. We're not going to have that. This was the only chance you got to give us Kofi Kingston versus Xavier Woods, and it would have been a very interesting match. But no, we get Xavier Woods versus Jinder Mahal. Xavier Woods is highly underutilized, highly underrated. He had to take on Jinder Mahal here and carry his ass for a way too long of a match. Woods fights off Jinder and knocks him onto the mat. He struggles to climb back up top. Does the walk. Does a long. I will say Jinder Mahal was by the ropes towards the entrance ramp. Xavier Woods is on the other side, about ready to do a springboard coast to coast elbow drop. He nailed it, and it just impresses me how far Xavier Woods can go hitting that elbow drop. Hits it, 1, 2, 3, Xavier Woods is your winner. Then, they make a mistake. They go up, Xavier Woods is he's looking at the crown. He wants that crown. Xavier Woods has been pushing to be king of the ring for years. When he was doing I think it was some SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain storyline, he came to the King of the Ring, and he had this big rant on why he wants to be in King of the Ring. Now, King of the Ring 2019, he was left out, too much to his disappointment. But here he is, one win away from realizing the dream of his lifetime to be King Xavier Woods. Now, he decided to, in his pre-match promo, mention King Mabel. Why? King Mabel was probably the worst King of the Ring in WWE history. Even Vince McMahon himself regrets booking Mabel to be King of the Ring. Now, he's admiring the crown. Kofi Kingston, for whatever fucking reason, decides, I'm going to take this, the cape, I'm going to put it on my bud, and I'm going to hand him the scepter. Now, unlike Jinder Mahal and Sami Zayn, he did not put the crown on, but still, you're tempting fate by even touching any of that stuff. Xavier Woods wins. It was an okay match. We see Austin Theory, what he had to do last week. He's in the middle of being interviewed. WWE is foreshadowing the future for Austin Theory. Austin Theory took on Jeff Hardy last week, and not even a minute into the match, the 24/7 I-95 Eurocontinental Champion goons come running around and causing mass commotion. It almost cost Austin Theory the match. So what does WWE do this time? Have Austin Theory being interviewed by Sarah Schreiber and the 24/7 I-95 Eurocontinental Champion people decide they're going to come running after Reggie during this guy's interview. This is foreshadowing what WWE has in plans for Austin Theory. They're giving him a micro push right now, but I mark my words, by the end of the year, if not by the time we get to the Royal Rumble, Austin Theory will be an afterthought on Monday Night Raw, chasing Reggie and whoever is the 24/7 champion. That is all there is to it. WWE keeps foreshadowing, so I wouldn't expect it any other way. So, they're chasing around. R-Truth bumps into Austin Theory. They have words, and R-Truth says, I'll accept your challenge, but you need to prompt on one condition. You get your permission from your mama to stay up late. Really, dude? That's the best you got? So, Austin Theory comes out. He's expecting to take on R-Truth. R-Truth comes out, but he introduces Theory's real opponent, Jeff Hardy. Hardy hits the ring. We get a match here. No interruption by the 24/7 goons this time, but they already did that tonight. So, did we get the good old-fashioned case of 50-50 booking? No. Jeff goes up for the swanton towards the end of the match. Theory gets up, crosses him on the top rope, hits the big TKO into the knee for the pin in the win. So Austin Theory goes 2-0 on Jeff Hardy. Now, after the match, Theory gets his phone, does a nice little selfie with Jeff Hardy. Instead of getting out of the ring, he shows it off and acts like a fool. Jeff Hardy gets back up, lays him out, and gets a selfie with him while he's knocked out. Way to go, WWE. You just gave this guy 2 wins over Jeff Hardy, which apparently don't mean shit now. And then you just have Jeff Hardy pop back up and embarrass this guy. I expect him to be running after the 24/7 championship by the Royal Rumble. Hey, it's time to see if Big E and Drew McIntyre can coexist 3 days before Crown Jewels. Which, they're in the back. Drew says, you know what? I saw the tape last week. The head-to-head knockdown was not your fault. And I apologize. And Big E's like, you know, I kind of stoked the fire by tagging in where you're about ready to hit the Claymore. And he's like, I have a good idea tonight. How about we coexist? He's like, that's a novel concept. Because what we're going to do in Thursday is what we're going to do, but tonight, let's take out our opponents. So the opponents are Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. This was a pretty good match. It's Robert Roode, Drew McIntyre, Big E, and Dolph Ziggler. Did you expect a terrible match? No. This was probably one of the best. This probably was the best match of the night. I'm just going to sit there and say right now. Drew McIntyre has had a mission that every time you put him out there, he wants to have the best match on the show. It doesn't matter who he's going against. He's gonna get a good match out of whoever the fuck he's gonna get a match go out there with, and he's gonna make sure damn well that you're talking about his match at the end of the night. Now, Drew tags in him and Biggie in. Biggie scoots Roode up for the big ending. He stares at Drew, and Drew gives him a thumbs down for the Biggie to hit the finisher on Roode for the pin and the win. Hey, they coexisted. Woo! This is lazy booking by WWE. How many times are we going to sit there and watch WWE have they can't think of any other way to do babyface versus babyface in 2021? Oh, it's a big babyface versus babyface title match coming up at the pay-per-view. We got about 4 weeks. Okay, so let's have a tag team match where they're on the same team. Can they coexist? Oh, they couldn't coexist. Let's try that again. Can they coexist times 2? So much lazy booking. Come on. So, Biggie gets his title back. They have words. They shake. They have some words. Drew's about to leave. Biggie turns him back around. They have even more words. They raise the title on Drew's face. And that is that. Hey, look, it's the Street Profits backstage doing this same old shtick that I don't give a shit about. AJ Styles and Omos come in. They talk some shit to them. The Street Profits basically wanted to put the tag team division on notice. They announced they want they're back. They're up, and they want the smoke. They head off. AJ says, "What a stupid name, the Street Profits. Like they're prophets. Like they know what's going to happen. They have absolutely no idea what's going to happen to them." And then they say it's a stupid name anyway. So there's that. Now, Cedric Alexandria versus Mansoor. Now, people are wondering, why did Ali turn on Mansoor last week? It's real simple. We're going into Crown Jewel. And that match, Mansoor, see, when they put this team together, they had months. This was so easy to do. You get Mansoor, you get Mustafa Ali, they're doing the odd couple thing, which you can't do 2 odd couple things because you had RK Bro already, but you have this odd couple thing going on. And you have these guys go out there and have them fight other opponents and have these 2 go out there and build up momentum to where they eventually win the Raw Tag Team titles in Saudi Arabia. That was perfect. And then the mistake was the second or third week of this pairing, they were in Chicago. Where is Mustafa Ali from? Chicago. So, no, they were not going to win. No, they were not going to do this stuff right. And no, we weren't going to get that. So, week in and week out, Mustafa Ali just sat there and was getting more and more fed up with this guy. Didn't want to be around him anymore. So last week he finally did the deed and turned on Mansoor. So now what? Yeah, this was terrible. Cedric Alexander Mansoor, of course, Mansoor has to have a match. He has to have a match at Saudi Arabia. It is in his fucking contract. He has to have a match. So, he gets this match. He beats Cedric Alexander. Did I really pay attention to this match? Not really. You brought the Hurt Business back together when Kofi King, when Big E was facing Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. And what have they done lately? What have they done since then? Absolutely nothing. So, after the match, Mansoor stands tall. His music hits. He hits the corner of the pose, but out comes Ali, and he's like, "Are you serious? After everything that you've been through, you're still out here smiling like everything's all good and everything?" Well, this Thursday at Crown Jewel, I'm going to be able to knock that smile right off your face. Mansoor says, "Ali, for the first time in your life, will you shut the hell up?" Ollie's a piece of trash, says he's going to be smiling when he beats Ollie senseless at Crown Jewel, proving the entire world that Ollie is just a pathetic, cowardly excuse for a man. He speaks in some Arabic while posing on the corner. Now, as a shocked Ali looks on him from stage. Oh my god, Mansoor got some balls! His balls finally dropped, and he stood up for himself like the man that he could be. Yeah. I'm not watching Crown Fools on Thursday because I've abstained from those after the Greatest Royal Rumble, which again, didn't feel comfortable watching that. Didn't really feel comfortable covering that, and I'm just going to skip this time. We get the announcers are joined by Goldberg and Bobby Lashley, kept in separate locations. Usually means right across the room from each other, just set up differently. They have some words. Goldberg says he has to beat Bobby within an inch of his life at Crown Jewel and then finish him off. Lashley says he's well within his right to call the authorities for Goldberg threatening him his life, but that's not how the Almighty operates. God. MVP being out is one of the worst things to happen to Bobby Lashley. Because MVP did all the talking, and MVP was the reason. Like, the reason you put MVP with him is because MVP could do all the talking. But here we are, and this guy just sounds like a massive cringe fest. Oh god, I don't even. Goldberg says Lashley says Goldberg can't kill him, and he will be begging for forgiveness. And then he walks off, saying nothing from him to stop him from ending Goldberg's career. The sooner MVP is back, the better. Bobby Lashley is going to be just after Thursday. Bobby Lashley is just going to be floating around doing absolutely nothing because MVP is the part of the act that's missing. Right now, it's just I can't even. Tag team champions Matt Riddle and Randy Orton versus the Street Profits. Why this match is happening, I don't have a clue. You have very few tag teams on the Raw roster. New Day's going to SmackDown. Mason T-Bar broke up. If you would have actually pushed those guys right, maybe they could have been a formidable team with different names. You have RK Bro, AJ Styles and Omos, which are thrown together tag teams. The Street Profits, and the Viking Raiders are going to SmackDown too. And the Alpha Academy, as far as I can remember. Why are you giving us Randy Orton and Matt Riddle versus the Street Profits when after Crown Jewel, if they are still the tag team champions, this could be your tag team title feud going into, I don't know. Oh, that's right, there's no pay-per-view in December. Yeah, there's no pay-per-view in December, so I don't know what WWE is going to be planning for the entire month of December, with day one being on the 1st of January. But, yeah. Again, this was a pretty good match here. And Matt Riddle and Randy Orton win by DQ because Orton's setting up for the RKO. AJ Styles comes out, phenomenal form, as Omos comes out from the entranceway. AJ comes from behind. Omos kills everybody from Matt Riddle to the Street Profits, Randy Orton. Randy Orton gets back up. He gets kicked in the head going back down. What else can I say about this? Randy Orton and everyone got their asses kicked because AJ Styles and Omos have to stand tall going into the pay-per-view. Queen's Crown Tournament semifinals, Shayna Basler versus Piper Niven, 2 minutes and 46 seconds. The Women's Queen's Crown Tournament going into the finals is probably accumulated about 13 minutes for the entire tournament, whereas the men's King of the Ring has probably eclipsed 2 hours by now. The Queen's Crown Tournament, Liv Morgan was eliminated in round 1. Toni Storm was eliminated in round 1. Shayna Basler was the only one that even fucking mattered going into this match. What would be the smart play for WWE? Have Shayna Basler go in here, beat Piper Niven, go to the finals, and beat Zelina Vega in about 45 seconds just to get them in and out and say, hey, we had another women's match at Crown Jewel. What does WWE do here? They book Piper Niven to beat Basler. And how did she beat Shayna Basler? Well, Shayna Basler has the Karafuda clutch on. And not once but twice it looked like Piper Niven was out, but the referee didn't call for the fucking bell. So Shayna has to adjust to make it look like she's still in the match. And then the very last time she does, Piper Niven rolls back. Shayna Basler can't let go of her hands to get a kick out or something. And she pins her 1, 2, 3. Vega was sitting in the Queen's crown chair with the cape, the scepter, and the crown on. So if everything goes the way it is, Piper Niven will be the Queen of the Ring. This tournament. This tournament is a fucking joke. You had 3 people, Toni Storm versus Shayna Baszler, if I'm correct, had a match in the first ever Mae Young Classic, if I am correct. Give me Toni Storm versus Shayna Baszler. Oh, we're in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Why would we want to do that? I just don't even know what this company is fucking pathetic. Let's see here. Were Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. Oh, sorry. No, Shayna Baszler. No, Toni Storm and Shayna Baszler didn't wrestle each other. I'm sorry, that's wrong. They were on opposite sides of the bracket. But, yeah. You could have also played this off of these two were in the Mae Young Classic from 4 years ago, but they didn't meet each other because they were on the opposite sides of the bracket, and this could have been the finals of that year. But no. We have to do this. We have to have Piper Niven versus Zelina Vega. Now, I know at Worlds Collide a couple years ago, Piper Niven and Zelina Vega had a match, and I heard it was a really good match. I missed that match somehow, but yeah. People said it was a banger. Guess what, mate, ladies and gentlemen? You're not going to get that here. You're going to get a 2.5 minute match at the most inside Saudi Arabia, and one of these two women are going to win, and none of us care. This was an absolute colossal disaster and should have never been attempted. If you don't do the shitty Queen of the Ring, and you take those all those matches and make them into King of the Ring matches, you have a 16-man tournament. That would have been fantastic compared to this garbage. Finn Balor beat Mace, who gives a shit. The Viking Raiders are backstage. Okay, so John Morrison's new gimmick is, I'm meditating and I need to find myself. Boring. Then we go to Bianca Belair versus Show About 9000. Will Bianca Belair win the Women's Championship and then go to Crown Jewel and take both championships and unify them? No. I know exactly what they're going to fucking do. People are thinking, oh, they're going to go to Survivor Series. They're going to unify these championships. Fuck no. We're going to get to Friday night, and the Show About 9000 is going to walk out as your SmackDown Women's Champion because she's going to have to exchange it for the Raw Women's Championship that she currently holds. Whereas Becky Lynch, who's going to retain a Crown Jewel, and anybody who thinks otherwise is a fucking idiot, is going to walk out on Monday Night Raw as the Raw Women's Champion. That's what they're going to do. They did it last year. Nobody was happy with the fact that the New Day and the Street Profits got free title reigns for absolutely no fucking reason. But here we go. The belt swap is going to happen. If you don't like it, don't know what to tell you. But it's just, you had Bianca Belair. Match was fine. But you're going to have Bianca Belair win by disqualification. Yeah. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. This company is fucking so dumb. But that's what you get. So it was predictable one way or another. It was predictable. Either Bianca won, and then we go to Crown Jewel, Sasha Banks wins, and you're done, and that's there. Or Charlotte wins, we go to Crown Jewel, Becky retains, and then we do the belt swap, and that looks like where we're going. Some people think they're going to unify the titles at the Survivor Series. You're out of your fucking mind. You're stupid. Well, that is your Monday Night Raw review. This show fucking sucks. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/the France Club. And find me on Instagram at the France Club. And I will see you guys on Friday for SmackDown and Rampage. Fuck talking smack. Until then, my name is the France, and I'll see you guys later.